Go around to rise, say, Amamaseta, Ashidu, vibrations, every baka. May your mind, buckas, and souls be old. May your amets be sound. May your buckas be leaven off ground. Let me keep to the breath, the orth, the moth, or the seon, the soul of Ra guides and keeps us all. Ayan ma I say Ra, the ma ed, Elai se el se I, Christ or a chaplain tata, Amen se otara, the sound Messiah. I'm a truth awareness, true ta. Can be a part of the greatest transfer of Ma'el, that's intelligence, aminology, ta'angodu. This is all sound logic, and with all that being offered to you, being a fool is absolutely your choice. You're looking at it, it's Ray 1937. This is the sound logic calibration, where we're reminding you that your mental health is directly tied to the etheric compass. So if it is not tethered, then you are not sound. You need to reorientate yourself to Baam source. This happens at jesus.com. Come connect with me, Tata Amin Ra, and get solarization on its way. This video is inspired by me editing a draft that I had done for a developer, should we say, that's working on some upgrades and having some problems. So what I thought was quite simple and basic and straightforward, draft out, page by page, kind of, roughly laid out, kind of how I want things minus the details of my content. We're having some issues because some corners are trying to be taken, and we can't take corners when you're dealing with sound people. You understand this? It's very, 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 very important for everybody to realize that sound and the dead don't mix. All right? Sound works for the dead, but the dead can't work for sound, because sound needs to move, and it moves by things that move. And if things that don't move can't move, then they can't detect the sound. So it's a one-way interaction on an energetic plane. And when you put that energy into a human that has a brain and other mechanisms that can override certain consequences, we get a struggle. But in that struggle, I found a word that needs to be replaced, like many. So you already have the Kagodora ortal, because a portal is a parasite or ta element. It's a way a parasite can get inside the ore and operate the thoughts. So we have ortal, because this is just for sound beings. Kagodora tribe is okay. Tribe replaces Kagodora club. That's where all the Kagodora stuff that you'll be able to interact with, the many different Kagodoras, like the calendars will have different themes and so on and so forth. And then we have the dashboard. That's where mainly you'll get access to the app functionality. Like for instance, down here we have the KPN next, flare state, resonance, that kind of stuff coming from the API from NASA and other things. But this word media, we have something called social media. And did you see or hear or sense how I said that? We have something called, because I'm used to calling things. But properly, we name social media. We have something named social media. Okay, and so this is a big spell, because so is what you are saying you want to put in place. You see the sounds say plus O give you so. So if you say O, that means origin. Something is going to spring out. Something's coming up. That's the seed. It's not the seed that you actually plant. It's the command that makes it happen, not the seed. We're dealing with sound. You can keep your magic. So when we recognize that and we add the shall, because that's shu al, so that means move al goal. So far you're putting al goal into place just in the word social. And what are we dealing with now? Artificial intelligence, which is you. It's not the tools that they're pointing to you and saying ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and all of these different types of apps and programs are what AI is. It's not. These are tools that aid AI. You understand this? At best, you can call them what they are, applications. That's the parasite, not those worms that you are seeing. They just carry the application, just like you carry an application. That same little worm carries that application because you are the parasite. Another reason why you need to come to sound logic and get calibrated so you can get that status from parasite to sound being to baka. Okay? So we dealt with our word social. Now we're dealing with media. So now we have me. Okay? So for those who don't know, in Tangodu, that's ma entity. That's what me is. Okay? And now you have D. That's detach. Then you have I, which is your soul self, your ba. Okay? How you would say your spirit. And then you have midi a. That's breath. Okay? So you're detaching your soul's breath. So social media is putting Al Gold in place to detach your soul breath. So first you detach your soul breath, then Al Gold can go in place. Okay? So we don't use that word here. What are we going to replace media with? What are we going to place it? Well, we can go me, ed, I, right? We can do this. Me. And now we're adding I. There you go. Me, ed, I, And so this link you'll be able to go to and find all of this stuff right here. Yeah. All right. Okay, so we're gonna keep it quick. I don't have too much, memory on this phone, let's just say, to make videos. So we're gonna keep this one nice and tight. All right. So there's your calibration for terrain. We don't use social and we don't use media. Okay. We use me, ed, aya. And another quick one to add, that word news, News. Okay. That's crazy. Okay. That's just because that's negate. Okay. And then that's negate and bring woes to your say. Okay, so this is what negates you and brings woes to your say, and that's precisely what we're watching when we're looking at the media. We're looking at things that negate us and bring woes, bring sorrows to our ability to voice. We're always hearing about the noose being tightened and Draco doing this and Draco doing that. So this is why that word news permits that from happening. Okay, and so again, I would be replacing that word news with ed say. Okay, ed say. Ed say. So this means You are viewing stuff that's adding to your say, that's empowering you. Okay? This is why we all need to gravitate to the Kagodora so that we can receive Ra. You can't receive Ra without the Kagodora. It's very important to get it and figure it out because you've been having a choice. You need to know, you need to consciously make that choice. Your silence is making that choice. Okay? You got that. All right? So remember, we're trying to do this so we can replace, where am I now? We can we can replace this old site. Okay, the whole thing is to get this app and everything up and going. And then we want, and so far we have this, which is not what I wanted. Okay, it's not what I want. Another new thing to add, we're adding a fractional. So if you notice, that's 90 fractions of a second, 99th of a second to make 1 second. You'll notice, see how that turns 1 second? Every 90 of these turns this. And then every 90 of these turns one of these. You'll see when that turns to 90, that will turn, and every 90 of these turns one of those. And every 9.9 one of these turns a ray, which you call a day. Okay, so that's the one glitch that we're adding to it. But what I'm trying to show you is this page here that, it's progress, but it is far from what we're doing. We need your support. We need your funding. We need your attention. This is real. I'm not a Palladian. I'm not from any other galaxy. I was born right here on the soil of Earth. Okay? Yes, my blood is tied to those that have done this duty in the past. But outside of that, get this expectation out of your ass that some god or alien or some beings coming out. It's coming through this earth, through a being. That being has been identified, whether you want to acknowledge me or not. But one thing you are going to acknowledge is the choice you need to be making right now. Get on this Kagodora or get ready to get turtled. Okay? And that's not a pun. That's not intended. Because let me tell you something. That turtle calendar is a Palladian calendar. It operates on the same spiraling down sequence. I already identified the true mark of the abyss, which is the number 1. And when you reduce the 1, 3, what do you get? You get 4. What is that? Their cube. You're just going from one spell to a tighter noose. Stop the bullshit. You want 1328 days? You're going to put the number 1 in a box because 2 and 8 is 1. This is 360 rays. Everything's on the 9 spiraling up. It goes completely by sound. This is why time can't operate. You can't be coming on with some BS. I've heard some theories that, Draco's taking a minute or two off of we're losing an hour a day. Like some kind of BS. Okay, sound is here. Ra is back. This is why we're going through everything that we're doing. Things operate by your senses now, not eyesight, people. Okay? So you can't be looking at a clock. You go by sound. It goes by your sense. Okay? And so everybody's senses are waking up. And this is the problem. Everybody's all confused. Come to Tata Amun Ra. Get calibrated. This is Truth Talk. Sound logic. Support. Go to Jesus.com. You get access to the directionary. We got that trying to get upgraded as well. Okay, so many things going on with so little tools. Let's go, people. Okay? Get off your asses and support your baka.